Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Get Rich 101. Oh, this is
Other one.
here. Thought you were going to keep it up there with pantomime.
No, this is the one that fell out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And yeah, now this one.
Oh no.
So I'm gonna have to fire my stylist because obviously she needs to do a better job.
So, anyway, what's up, folks? Today is Thursday, and we are doing the thing. You want to tell us the things that we're not doing?
The things that we are doing or not doing?
Not doing.
This is Fiance Files. I'm your local fitness go-to girl feed king. He is Sekou Writes, the money wizard. This is Get Rich 101.
Yes.
Sekou Writes is not a personal trainer. He's also not a financial advisor. So take everything that he says with a grain of salt and implement it though.
Yeah.
And try it on for side note.
Yeah.
Put it into, no, we don't try. We don't try. In this household, we do.
Okay.
So do it for yourself. Thank you so much to New Thought Media Group for giving Sekou Writes this platform to empower, embolden, educate, and inspire.
She does it so well.
Let's go!
Well. And you did the part about, you did that part. So listen, this is what we got here, because I have to go to this corner because the opposite corner. But Stroke Awareness Month.
May. This month is Stroke Awareness Month, which means we get to honor those who have survived and thriving through a stroke, and we get to honor those who are challenged in their stroke season and those who may not have made it. And we get to educate the community while we educate ourselves even more.
Yeah.
And shout out to Jason Russell, because Jason Russell survived a stroke. He's the founder of Black Men Run.
Yeah, he's a co-founder.
But
let me tell you all that he has had a what's my stroke called?
Yours is a hemorrhagic.
Hemorrhagic. He has had a hemorrhagic stroke. I just happened upon. I was like, you're hemorrhagic. I can't remember the name, but
hemorrhagic.
To
hemorrhage, which means
hemorrhagic. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hemorrhagic. So we had that connection just recently. We were like, wow, because as I told you, only 17% of people live. Yeah.
And that is so beautiful because the fact that both of you run, the fact that both of you are members of Black Men Run, around similar age, and experience the same kind of stroke and survive, because the odds are lower for the type of stroke that you two had. And I saw online that Jason was in Atlanta.
He lives in Atlanta.
Oh, he lives in, okay. So he was at Georgia Tech School of, he's doing some sort of test. It looked robotic.
Yeah, I was like, what is this?
Yeah,
what is this? But it looked like he was, I don't know. I don't want to get into it.
But shout out to you, Jason Russell.
Shout out to you. Let's do something. Let's do something else, Jason. Let's do something else. So I appreciate me bringing you up. I appreciate that.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. So what we talking? I know you got a bunch of things you want to talk about.
Oh,
so what we talking about today?
Anytime I get to sit in the same room with you and talk, it's just it's a great day. I want to shout you out.
Okay.
And kudos, way to go, way to stay open to the possibilities, way to stay open to the opportunities that life is presenting you and the opportunities that you are creating for yourself. He's like, what's she talking about? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the fact that you said yes. You said yes to publishing your book, Hack Your Pain Now.
Yes, Hack Your Pain Now. Hack Your Pain Now. Despite all the do not publish, do not share notes on it. Hack Your Pain Now. Yeah.
Shout out to you for saying yes at a time when you had a difficult time. You couldn't even read your own manuscript.
Yeah.
Shout out to you
took me a lot of effort to be able to read my own manuscript.
And you did it. Yeah. Shout out to you for saying yes to your mom for writing your preface.
Mom.
Shout out to you, Dr. Fort.
Yes.
And shout out to you for saying yes to the possibility of what this book has opened up for you and other people. Because you said yes prior to Rev Melissa asking you to be an author. Basically, you are an author in residence. You are present for your own book study. That's huge.
And it's going to cover both of my birthday. Wait a minute. No, my first birthday. It's going to cover my first birthday.
Yes.
My original birthday, as my mom would say.
Yes, because she's like, listen, we let us honor that because I gave birth to this man. Right. Mama Sekou said that is his number one birthday.
Right.
So what I'm talking about, fam and folks checking us out on Fiance Files. Last night was Sekou's day one.
Man.
It was his premiere.
It was a doozy. It was a doozy. Yeah.
Book study, which is hosted by Rev Melissa, facilitated by Rockland CSL.
Yeah.
And we had 11 folks in the house.
Yeah.
We had 11 people who have bought the book. Most have already read the book. And so now
I found out somebody who had read it a long time ago.
Long time
what?
ago.
You bought it a long time ago? What? I didn't even know that.
You never know how you're impacting people. Like none of us ever know. This is why I love social media. But what we got to be reminded of last night is that this is not a book that you read. You don't just read it. This is a book that you live. That you live. And that you implement.
Reverend Melissa said that.
Yes.
Came with that quote, and I loved it.
Yeah.
It's a book you live.
This is a book you live. Yeah. And what a lot of people don't know, by the way, it is not too late for you to join the book study. It is free. Yeah. We're going to be asking for a love offering because this is a 10-week book study, even though it's a small
10
book.
Weeks.
It is
10 weeks.
It's actually 11 commandments.
Yeah.
And it's 11 commandments. So you can still join. You can get the book right now on Sekou's website. You should put that up if you have a banner, babe. Your website banner. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you go into here, click banner, you should have a Sekou Writes banner.
Sekou Writes?
Yeah, for your website.
Just my website?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
So you can get the book from his website. You can get the paperback, ebook. You can also get the audio. So I have the audio and we share the paperback. What a lot of people don't know, Sekou, is that this book is not about the physical pain post-stroke. This book is not about stroke pain.
Right.
This book, tell me what it is.
Don't get it twisted now.
Don't get it twisted.
I did not write this book in response to the pain that I still have. Right?
Yeah.
I wrote this book before I'd even had a stroke. Yeah. Before. And it helped me. It helped me come through my pain. And I figured if it could help me pass through my pain, it can help anybody pass through their pain.
Share with people why you wrote the book, though. What kind of pain were you experiencing when you wrote this book? Well,
I was explaining this last night. I have a complete emotional separation from pre-stroke to post-stroke. Mm-hmm. But what it seems like I was feeling in this book was I was going through a breakup, and I was looking for something to help me. Couldn't find anything to help me, so I wrote what I needed to help me to go right to the heart of the matter. Right to the heart of the matter. Now, that's not to say it's only for people who are going through heartbreak. It is about getting in quickly, and finding things that will help you overcome your pain.
I learned so much from this book. And I can honestly say that if I didn't know you, if I didn't know Sekou as a friend first, I would have found so much value in this book. And for me, my favorite hack. So the hacks are exercises, things that you can do, different ways that you can start to believe, habits that you can create to move you from where you are in your mental, emotional, spiritual, physical self to somewhere that you believe is going to bring you more peace, more clarity, more calm. So many things resonated for me. One of the things that really, and I use it today and I use it on him all the time. I'm like, I think you need to pick up the book, your own book. It's like this cute little reminder when he's kind of in a funk.
And I don't want to do it.
You don't want to. He doesn't want to do it.
I do not want to do it.
It's so important. And as I'm walking or running through the streets of New York, I wish that maybe we need T-shirts that have a pencil image on the T-shirt and two lips where you place the pencil in between your lips, because that pencil technique that Sekou gives us in his book forces you to smile. And as soon as you smile, your energy is shifted.
Yep.
Your mood is lifted.
Yep.
And that is by far my favorite. My other favorite is something that I discovered at the age of 12, which is exercise is the antidote to just about everything.
Yeah, you discovered it very early.
Yeah.
You discovered it very early.
And you know what? I think I discovered it even before then, as I was living vicariously through my father, who was an advocate exerciser. He introduced me to martial arts. I was sharing with Sekou.
I was like, what? You studied martial arts? What?
for a minute.
Same as me.
Right.
My situation is entirely different.
I studied karate because I used to get beat up. And so my mom had a conversation with my father. She was like, listen, you got to do something.
Yeah.
Like, teach her how to fight. And so, but I learned the art of shifting your mood and your mindset, even though we didn't use those words back then. But I learned that by watching my father work out. And my father was a very quiet man, kind of subdued. But when he would work out, it's like he would come to life. And our engagement was richer. I've never shared that with anyone. Wow.
Engagement was richer.
That's it was richer. And it was always after he would move, exercise, he would do push-ups, and he was in impeccable shape. But more importantly, he was a proponent of supplements. Like, he would open up his cabinet in the kitchen full of vitamins, full of, I didn't know at the time, but protein powders and all the things. And so, I learned by watching and then eventually doing. So I want to shout you out. I want to segue, shout you out. Last night, you showed up. You were fully present. You shared so much of yourself.
Yeah.
And again, we do this every Wednesday at 7 p.m. There's still time to join. I don't know if Sekou has a link for this, a banner for his book study. Do you have Rockland CSL?
I don't know, but keep on going.
Yeah. And so again, 11 people were in the house and we had such a great time. And I love that Rev Melissa she is guiding us through this book study. Our assignment for the next 7 days is simply to read the introduction, to read Commandment 1, and to actually do what Sekou is instructing. So there's a playlist. We get to go on YouTube and listen, or Pandora, and listen to the song. And there's a journaling exercise that we get to do. Like, what comes up for you during your time reading this book. And I am so excited. I said, you know what? I'm not going to wait till the last day. I am getting involved today. I'm going to do my assignment. The commandments are short, but mighty.
Yeah.
And again, I can't say it enough. I was sharing with Sekou, you gotta say these things over and over and over. This book is not about physical pain. It is not about his physical pain, but it can be applied to your physical pain, your mental pain, your emotional pain, your childhood trauma. You've written a pain Bible.
Pain Bible. Wow. Okay. All right. So I wanted to point out something that, well, first let me read this.
What's up, Linda?
Linda says, it is so cool that you brought your pre-stroke Sekou and your post-stroke Sekou into this gift of your life and shared it with the world.
Oh.
That's nice.
That's
nice. That's nice.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. I wanted to point out something that I didn't realize last night.
What?
Last night I realized through conversation that there were two different books. There was what was intro, what I called the intro, and then the commandments. And somehow in my, what's going on, kind of stupor, I put them both together, and I put them out both together. And that is what has made this book so phenomenal. The the part that I gave of myself, the inside info that I gave of myself, all the stuff that had the do not resuscitate, do not publish, all that stuff that I had on that first part of the book opened the way for the book to become what it is.
Last night you said that, babe, and the book is not the book without the introduction.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the introduction was kind of like your journaling.
Yeah.
And I think this is good for people to know that your journaling or your diary entry can become your healing modality. And it can become your story, your book, whether you decide to write it this way, publish it via audio, or whether it's something that you share with people on stage. But your introduction is your book.
Yeah.
I think what you're meaning is that you didn't mean to publish it. You didn't mean to share it.
Yeah, I meant for the commandments to be one thing, and the do not publish intro to be something else, something private. But in my my kind of haze, I saw that they were stacked together, one on top of the other, and so I just put them together and sent it. And I just now realized that I did that last night. That they were separate. Now they're one, and they were always meant to be one.
Yeah, I think that's the part. Yeah, they were always meant to be one. I think you just didn't, mean to share something so personal to you. And then, can we real quickly unpack your haze? Because you mentioned your haze, and I think it's important for people to know, because this came up last night during your book study, that sometimes people, and this is true, but it's not true for Sekou. Sekou's not avoiding his pain, his trauma. He has a condition because of the stroke. It's a byproduct. It's a byproduct of having the type of stroke that you had, which is called aphasia. Aphasia affects your memory, short-term memory, long-term memory. It affects speech and language. So that's what happens with when he says haze, right? Like the haze is not avoidance. I just want to make that clear.
All right.
It is not. He's not avoiding anything. He's not trying to not recall things because it's so traumatic. He just doesn't remember it. Yeah. I mean, sometimes. Oh.
The light went out.
Hopefully, it's that charger. But sometimes he doesn't remember things from moment to moment.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we'll have a conversation about something, and then I love the word you use, rejigger.
Rejigger, yeah.
It'll
rejigger
your memory. Yeah. And so for me, it's kind of like Groundhog's Day every day. That's how I'm choosing to look at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know what? I learned something else yesterday that gave me some peace. Because I sometimes get in my feelings when I learn things about you on your show, when you share things on your show before you share them with me. What's up, Fatima West?
Okay, go ahead.
However, I got some clarity last night because Mama Sekou said that she learns things about her son from the show and from watching him being interviewed. I was like, okay, I love, and it reminded me, right?
Yeah, and what happens is it comes forth. It's not something I've thought about before. It's something that comes forth as I'm speaking it. So it's having this interview space, having the what's it called? The podcast. The podcast invite me to speak. It's all those things that help me speak my thoughts and therefore shape them.
I do, and I tell you, it reminded me what I had was a moment of clarity. And I don't think I would have had it in this way if it were not for Rev Melissa doing her series on the 4 agreements.
Mm.
Take nothing personal, make
Take
no
nothing
assumptions.
personal.
Take nothing personal, make no
Nothing
assumptions.
personal.
Because I was taking it personal
Yeah.
and I was making assumptions. I was like, I was like, you know what? He's secretive.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
holding
not.
things back from me.
Yeah, I'm not.
And thank you so much, Mama Sekou,
Yeah.
for sharing that, because that's something else we have in common.
Yeah.
And for me, it allowed me to remove myself, because sometimes we think things are about us. And again, thank you, Don Miguel. Most things are not about you.
Right.
No one is Sekou is not intentionally withholding things from me.
Right. Right.
Oh my goodness. I was like, woo!
Bravo.
Woo!
Bravo.
We don't have to fight about this.
Bravo.
Not that we fight,
bravo,
which is crazy. Like,
bravo.
we get along so well.
Yeah.
But that was so good. I said, oh, it's not just me. If his own mother is learning things about him after all of these years. And that's what I love about sharing your story. I plan to live my life as an open book forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what Linda said? You're in a daily process of rebirthing Sekou. I was like, wow, that's deep. That's deep.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And I tell you, every day, a friend of mine asked me if Sekou and he said, do y'all laugh a lot? I said, we laugh so much. And every single day, we are getting to know each other. And honestly, even with my sister and I don't get to talk on the phone in great detail and depth, but every day, every time we talk, we discover something new. And I'm like, I love this because many of us are living our lives on the surface.
Right. And I would like to point out that my previous version, the previous version of me was a bit more reserved, secretive, and a bit more reserved, and living in that way, and then being introduced to the world in a new way, without any rules, without any hidden agendas, has been really uplifting for me to speak about what's happening. And I've been talking to you guys on the show. I've been talking to you guys on this show about things that I'm feeling, things that I'm going through, and it's been very helpful to me.
It's been very helpful to me. I'm curious, do you know why you lived your life reserved?
No, but I will say that my previous self had accumulated all these years of behavior, taken on from other things, right? But after the stroke, I had to start.
No, you're right, strokes.
Yeah, I know. I had two strokes, y'all. But after the strokes, I had to begin again. I had to begin again without anything, because I had a complete
erasure.
Yeah. What's the word though?
Amnesia.
Amnesia. Yeah, had complete amnesia, and so I had to start from scratch. And that's what I've been saying. I'm 2.5 years old. I'm coming up on 3 years, but I have to, because I had to find things myself and figure out how they fit into myself, And
yes, and the blessing is that you had people in your circle who knew the previous self, so they could also help fill in the gaps. And Rev Melissa did that so well last night. I was like, so I want to acknowledge something that Fatima said. She said, discovery of each other, those deep conversations are amazing. They absolutely are. And one of the things so I was sharing this with my friend Dwayne Barnes, because I was on his podcast recently. And I jokingly said, I keep telling Sekou, I think you need to see my one-woman show before you marry me.
It's got me scared, y'all.
And so Dwayne was like, he hasn't seen your show?
Yeah, I was like, I haven't seen the show? What?
And he was like, but wait a minute, Fee. Like, do you not? So do you guys feel like you know one another? I was like, oh my goodness. I said, Dwayne, we are getting to know one another every single day. But I think even when you're married, and only the married people can attest to this. So please, Linda, I know you're married. Rev Melissa, Fatima West, you've been married before. I don't think you know people until you're really ready and willing to grow. I did not know my mother in a really intimate way until I did my one-woman show. Wow. And I was in my mid-30s.
Wow.
Like, I didn't know simple, basic things. And I also think that she didn't know me. And so you got to really be interested.
Yeah.
And I think because we are interested in knowing one another, because every time I do an interview or I'm having a conversation with someone, Sekou will say, so let's talk about that. We were talking about alcohol. There are things that you learned about me around alcohol the other day. And so I don't think this is new. I think it's because we are both very interested in ourselves and we're interested in one another.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah. And I think the interest in myself has to do with finding myself, finding the nooks and crannies and whatever there is to find out about someone who's,
had a stroke.
Who's had a stroke. Yeah.
Who survived, who's one of the 17%. So you're a 17%er.
17%er.
You're a 1%er.
1%er.
Why are you a 1%er?
Because I completed a marathon.
Yes, you completed too.
After my stroke.
Yes.
Which has been crazy to me, even to me.
It's crazy to everyone. And you are a 3%er. And why are you a 3%er, sir?
Because I published a book.
Hey.
I published multiple books.
6.
Really.
And you're working on your 7th. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
So I didn't even tell you this.
Of course not.
No. I was getting my computer ready for the thing last night for the book study. Yeah. And I was trying to save it. I was trying to save it as Get Rich 101, the notes I was going to make for tonight, last night. And I found out it was 2. There were 2 Get Rich 101s. I was like, wait a minute, I just created one. I went into the other one, and don't you know there are 5 chapters completed of Get Rich 101?
Your book.
My book. I was like, wait a minute now. I didn't even click into anything. I was like, wait a minute. I got 5 chapters already done? That's crazy. So that's going to be done like this.
Like this.
Like this.
Yes. And that is why we are building our digital products business so that we have a platform and a system to not only share our books with people, but share our courses, share our systems and our talks and our story. So can we segue into our community invest raiser? Because we only have a couple minutes.
Well,
Thank you so much, Fatima West, for sharing with your community. So we are doing something that has allowed us to become even more transparent, even more vulnerable, which is the big ask. It's the big ask. I created a system, and Sekou has joined me in the Circle of 5, Fund Us Forward, because we realize that as entrepreneurs, especially as a Black woman, access to funds don't come easily. And I know that to be true for all of my entrepreneurial friends and my friends who have small businesses, whether it's brick and mortar. And so because I've successfully raised funds in the past, once for this guy, a couple times for my one-woman show. And I love helping people get to the money, helping people to see their business in another way, in a way that can be profitable. So we created this Circle of 5, Fund Us Forward. We are raising monies and we need our community to invest in us. Like today, we need that. So when you see that on social media, please click invest from where you are. Because imagine between the two of us, we have over 80,000 social media connections, friends, families. And if 10% of 80,000 people, which is 8,000, click and invest $2.99. Like, that is a social experiment that we can take to every news outlet and share that with people so that you just know the possibility and know that the money is right in your community. It's right in your community. It's with your family. It's with your friends. It's with your social media following. It's with your clients and your coworkers. And you get to share this system of how you can get invested from where you are with what people have. And then this becomes a trickle down effect. We have 5 businesses in this current cohort that are doing the same thing. I provided them with everything they need, and they provided me with so much. Thank you, by the way, Anne, for giving me a different way. Anne blew my mind. I love Anne so much. Anne is everything. Thank you so much, Anne. I don't want to share that part because that's where the Circle of 5 Fund Us Forward is growing. So when you see the link, please click and say who's going to run this video. Because we're out of time. We're going to share it on social media.
All right.
We're going to share it on in our email database as well. So thank you all for rocking with Fiance Files. We do this every Thursday on Thankful Thursday, God willing, at 9:45 a.m. until 10:15. I am Fee King, your local fitness go-to girl, the body architect, and he is
Sacred Rights, the money wizard. Money wizard. Still makes you laugh.
And I love that you laugh.
All right, so we'll see you later.
We out.